Hey, what's up guys? Phoenix here. This video is going to be another YGOpro duel video, and this time I'm playing with the pure True King deck by popular demand, actually. A lot of people have actually requested this and emailed me about it, messaged me through Facebook about it, stuff like that. Because I've been playing the True King Yang Zing variant, which I'm actually a really big fan of, they wanted me to actually play the pure True King deck and give my thoughts on it and give what some input on what I think the deck needs or anything like that. Basically, my thoughts on the deck itself. And ultimately, through the little bit I've play tested of it, I'm not too big of a fan of it because it just seems like it's way too slow and like really clunky and has some consistency problems. But those just might be my own like just preconceived misconceptions and preconceived judgments against the deck. Whereas the deck might actually function very nice and smooth. I don't know. It's gonna take some testing before I even come to a conclusion on that, which I'm going to be doing between now and when I actually play games for the video. I'm going to do a couple of test games and then I'm going to film for the video. So there's going to be a little bit of a break. So if my ideals change between now and then of being, kind of hopeful about this deck to just straight up just not liking it, then you'll understand why. But otherwise, basically, I don't want to waste too much time in this portion of the video. I think we're just going to jump straight into the first game because it's very clear-cut and very straightforward how this deck operates. It's definitely not anywhere near as complex a beast as like the Cosmo or Yang Zing hybrids are, and the Cosmo hybrid is definitely another one that I plan on possibly playing and testing out for the future. But that one is another really complex deck, just like the Yang Zing version, which I need to basically learn a bit more about before I actually go too deep into it and start making videos on it. Because I mean, hell, I made one video with the Yang Zing version and I basically hadn't touched the deck in a week, and I was like fumbling over my plays. Even though I was making decent plays, I was fumbling over them and I knew they weren't the correct plays and the best they could be. But anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's just jump straight into the first game, see how long my voice holds out, and see how long my faith in this deck actually persists between now and when I actually film the games. Let's just jump straight in. Alright, it should be noted that I have not set up my Discord server or my Patreon thing yet because I haven't messed with those kind of things before, so I haven't figured out what I want to do for it. But essentially, this is actually kind of alright, I guess, in terms of a play. I can do this, and that'll get me access into 2 of these. Yeah, no, that's not what I want though, per se. But I could add, let's see, I could add True Draco Succession, or whatever. I could normal summon that. Well, let's see, I probably just want this. But I want the skill drain too. I want the skill drain to be live. So what we do is, okay, this is what we do. We add the earth. Where is it? We add the earth and the fire, and that way the earth can bring back this. I could have added water as well. But that could have summoned Magma Dragon from deck and summoned another one, but this seems like the same result with less kerfuffle, less messing around. But so I think I just lost rock paper scissors and he told me to go first. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on here in terms of things that are happening. But so I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna set this dimension barrier, and I'm going to pass turn, and I'm just gonna immediately use VFD to call like light or something bullshit like that. Just because that seems to be fine. I mean, it literally doesn't matter what you call, because your opponent's monsters become that. But I haven't set up. Going back to the original point that I was starting this game with was that I haven't set up this Discord server yet, so I am still playing as randoms. So I have no idea how any of this is going to go. Because I can't really play against friends right now because they're relatively unreliable in terms of how they're trying to make things happen. Set 3 question mark. My voice is starting to fail again, unfortunately, but I can at least keep it together for this bit of the video. Antique Gear Hunting Hound, or Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. So we're playing against an Ancient Gear deck again. Now, my expectations of this deck are rather low, as I've made clear. I mean, it couldn't beat the BES deck, and I think that deck is cool, but nowhere near anything meta-defining. I mean, there's that. But this lets me destroy other cards in my hand or field, so I can get rid of this duplicate dimension barrier and I could just add a card that would get me. I could add Disciples of the Draco Phoenix. That will be what I want. That indeed will be what I want. Ojama Trio. Huh. So you're playing Ancient Gear Burn? Maybe? I could have destroyed one of the tokens! Shit! Alright. No more messing around. Alright. I want the Disciples of the Draco Phoenix. I want this because I want to shuffle those 3 cards back and draw a card. Because I want to start cycling. And because that's the biggest problem I have with this deck versus the Yang Zing and hell, even the Cosmo build, is that it doesn't cycle that well. The pure build just seems very like brutish, and it doesn't do what it needs to do like well. That's my biggest issue with it. But I'm going to activate this, and I'm going to call Fire, because I can then use this I've got the Dimension Barrier that I can use to call Fusion at any given time. I'm not worried in any way, shape, or form about the fact that, that this has no materials on it anymore. I'm not worried at all. Solemn Strike, that kind of sucks. Now this doesn't give me the normal summon effect, and I can't normal summon this? What? Is there something I'm missing? I didn't normal summon this turn. What? Why? Daddy, why? Daddy, no. But so I'm just gonna set this and pass. Shit. I'm gonna pop off these Ojama tokens, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy popping these off for my True Kings. Now, what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm going to use this next turn to either pop this out of my hand, pop one of the tokens, or depending, I might pop the Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix, just because it seems like it'd be pretty strong. But I'm holding down A like a champion right now, because I'm just holding it down to maintain my ability to activate Dimension Barrier in response to some like dumb bullshit. But from here, he's activating Gold Gadget's effect, and I'll just go ahead and skill drain. I don't even care, you know? I'll summon bigger things than you, and I'll just let that be what decides this game. I'll just out-resource you through the fact that I can search removal with the field spell. But that's the thing, is that this deck as an engine, or the True Kings as an engine with all your big guys in the field spell, works really, really well with other archetypes like Cosmo, like Yang Zing and all that. Like, you have so much better options in terms of things you can play with the deck that I find it incredibly strange that that this pure build is as popular as it is with people, considering the fact that it just kind of doesn't do a lot. I mean, kind of doesn't do a lot is a bit of an understatement. It actually just really doesn't do a lot. And that's the biggest issue that I have with the deck as a whole, is that it doesn't do much. It just doesn't do much. That's my biggest complaint, is that you take some of the coolest things that this archetype's capable of doing, being splashed with other stuff. Like, this is basically literally just better Fire King Island, because you're searching actually real cards. Cards that can summon themselves, cards that are huge, in the form of like the Yang Zing and the Cosmo variants. But ultimately, people just aren't utilizing that, and they don't seem to want to utilize it, which I find incredibly strange, as I have already established. But, so I'm going to pop this, and I'm going to use it to search for water. Search for water. Because I can search for water, then this thing's effect will activate, allowing me to search for Magma Dragon, just to get it out of my deck, or I could search for the Fire one and start adding stuff back to my hand. So I will search for another copy of the Fire one, because I can just pop the water and the fire out of my hand, and then that would do that. I'm actually going to use this to shuffle these back immediately, just because I want to get access to the draw first. Really, another terraforming? Well, swell. Looky here. Looky here, Dueler Mans. So I get to activate this now. I can use this to pop this last Ojama token, and then off of this, I'll be able to access just more cards. And so what I'll do is I'll access True Draco Succession. Yeah, maybe. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be too worthwhile, because of the fact that I'm just gonna be summoning this, and then I can pop it. Yeah, maybe, but doesn't seem worth I could definitely add the trap, though, and that would let me start playing the skill drain game to the best of my capabilities. And so that's what we'll do. But so from here, we'll pop these two, summon this in attack mode, then we'll use both of these things' effects. I'll add the water one back to hand, and then summon probably the earth one out of deck, just because it seems to be pretty clear cut. Or I could summon this one because this one has the other like strongest attack value, so seems worth. Because then if this one dies by card effect, I could just do stuff like that to benefit me. But I can't shuffle back field spells, which is a bit unfortunate. But I can set this card, and so we'll use this to attack his Ancient Gear Hunting Hound, because this will just die. And then I'm very much in like a dominating position because I'm playing skill drain. Like I said, this deck just seems to take everything that's amazing about how splashable this engine is. Well, I shouldn't say splashable, but I mean it really is. Like, it works with almost everything. But it is a lot of cards, if we're being completely real. It is literally 3 field spell, 3 terraforming, and then 12 monsters. It is 18 cards. It's an 18 card splashable, air quotes, engine. But because of how splashable it is, you can use it in other decks that have other engines that are also, you know, about that sizable. Like I said, you can just play you could play the Fire King Cosmo strategy, slimming down on the engine of what you were playing. Just like you could just play different things. Just like cutting certain ones of the True Kings. Like you don't have to play full play sets of each. You could play 2 of each. You could slim the engine down by a lot. You could completely omit the fire True King, because you could just use the wind, the water, and the earth. Like, there's plenty of different capabilities you have access to in terms of how you can play the deck and keep it moving. That's definitely not a problem in any form or capacity. But what you do run risk of is you run risk of just not doing anything. And in the pure build, like that's just the biggest thing I'm having a problem with. Is that I'm just not doing a lot of anything. And that's something that I really, really dislike, is when I'm not doing anything. Other than just being a buster and just sitting back on my multiple copies of like multiple good cards. Which, I mean, shouldn't be considered a buster thing to do, but I mean, it really just kind of is. But I could summon this by hitting these two. I could summon, I can summon the Magma Dragon from deck, but it won't get any effect. So I might as well just get this out of deck and pop it off, just so I don't risk drawing the bitch. There's multiple different things that are beneficial for me to just do this. I'll just put big, beefy things on board and keep going. Just keep my field spell and my pot of average just circulating. Like, really, that's all we have to do, over and over again, is just keep this circulating. That's all that needs to happen. But so there are only 2. So I could activate this. I could normal summon one of these guys. I can normal summon over this, but this goes to attack mode, so I really don't think that's too worthwhile. But I could. I could do just that. This summons it in defense mode, right? Yeah, defense position. Alright, so I could just use that to continually keep making my things happen, or I could just normal summon using a continuous spell or trap. So I could do this, and then this effect will activate, popping this set card, because I don't know what it is. So I'd rather do that. So we'll pop this. It's Ancient Gear Gadget. And now I get to use this to shuffle these 3 cards back into my deck. And wow, look at this. Look at this nonsense that I'm doing, right? I mean, look at it. It's just, this game is taking way too long, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But, I mean, hey, life finds a way, and life carries on, right? But the thing is that I've got skill drain up, so unless he out skill drain, I'm not afraid of anything, because if he puts a huge monster on the board, I can answer the biggest monster he can summon. He can summon Ultimate Gear Gadgetron Dragon, and I can just make Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and I can just kill it. That's all I have to do. I can just kill it. I can just bump heads, and then all my cards were free, so it doesn't matter. Like, is this not clear yet? Like, how much I'm just not having fun? Like, it's just, it's It's not something I'm enjoying. It's not something I'm enjoying by any stretch. I'm going to keep reiterating this multiple times. Is that I just feel like this deck is better suited as being a supporting engine for literally everything. Like, the thing is that, like, Konami, it seems like Konami finally printed a Dragon Ruler deck the right way, because this is very clearly a spiritual successor to Dragon Rulers in terms of its design, and it seems like they printed it the right way. It can function as its own deck, but it is better as support for other things, and like I think people just don't seem to understand that. But so we'll do this, and we will pop this card, and that card will add the trap. I mean, come on, it's so straightforward. It's so straightforward. It makes my head bleed. It makes my throat bleed. I just get to do this. Look at this. It's just skill drain plus big bodies. And the thing is, you can't even say, oh, skill drain's an unsearchable card. You make skill drain. You summon VFD. The entire purpose of your deck is to summon VFD and just keep doing this over and over again, just on a little bit more of an aggressive basis. But anyway, I'm going to pause my rant for now and go into the next game. It just does not seem fun to me at all. It doesn't. I'm not having the best of times, and I can feel my throat degrading from the rant that I'm going on here. But got to do it, because otherwise, oh my god, look at this awful hand. Look at this terrible hand. I'm gonna activate this, and I'm going to normal summon, just so I have a body on the board. No. And then I'm going to set this and pass my turn. Oh boy. Yeah, I feel like the hybrids are better suited, because the hybrids have higher ceilings, thus because of the inherent fact that they are hybrids, and they just do more. Like, they just have better, like, accessibility into certain cards, and that's something I like. I really like that. But like with this pure build, nah. That's literally what we've degraded to, is just making noises. No, I do not want to add it to my hand. I'll put it here. We'll do it here. Just because there's really no point in me having it in my hand. If I draw the field spell, I could pop it. I could have popped it from field anyway. The only reason putting it in my hand is relevant is if I like try to play around something like Castell, but that's really not something I'm too worried about here, because I've got a Vanity's Emptiness. Well, I mean, I guess it was correct to put it in my hand, because if I flip the Emptiness, and then he has something like a Twin Twister. He could Twin Twister this, and then I lose out. What is that? Why did his hand just shuffle? Did he just like reveal a Blue Eyes to me and I completely missed it? Are we playing against Blue Eyes? What are we playing against? Come on, man. You gotta tell me. You gotta let me know. What is this? Oh my god, we are playing against Blue Eyes. Against Ritual Blue Eyes, no less. I'm gonna go ahead and activate this, just because I feel like this is necessary. I don't want to get caught with an alternative dragon, get caught with my pants down. Yeah, Sage, alright. Sage. Dimension Barrier is a live card at some point, but oh my god, what's gonna happen now? Like Fabled Catsith? Oh, Effect Veiler. Searching Veiler does nothing here. Cool. Cool beans! I'm okay with this. I wish that this guy could search the field spell. If this guy could search the field spell, then it would be so inherently better in terms of the deck, and it would probably be really good in its pure form. This guy would be an instant 3 of, and a lot of consistency problems would be solved. But as it stands, nah. As it stands, nah. That is my official response. But he's doing all this stuff, which makes me think he might have a Twin Twister, or he's just trying to circulate. He's just trying to circulate. I understand the feels completely. But so I could normal summon this by sending Emptiness to grave, which is the neat thing, is that you can just continually do that. But as it stands, why try to ruin a good thing, huh? We'll just attack with this, and we'll deal 24. Because then, from here, he has the Emptiness. I'm playing, again, I'm just using a cheesy Floodgate, and I'm using it to make my opponent play on my pace. I probably wasn't going to win this game without emptiness. And if this emptiness doesn't stick, then I am 100% probably not winning this game. Alright, so from here, let's see. This is the Water True King, which is not something that's going to be good for me. But we will use this, and we'll just punch for 24. Come on, man. We just got to do it. You just punch for 24, and you make them cry. Like, this is how this works. Next turn, I'll probably tribute summon for this, tributing my emptiness, and then yeah, and then that'd be pretty cool. I could tribute this, but then the emptiness would go anyway. So like, there's no point. Might as well, right? Might as well not. He set a card. Poor bastard. Well, at this point, Dragonic Diagram. You do not say. So what this means is that now what I can do is I can use this, I can pop emptiness, I can search the trap, set the trap, tribute the trap for this, pop the monster, and then just attack for game. That's the sad thing. He doesn't have anything engraved that would be summonable off like Silver's Cry. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's 100% what's about to happen here. Is that I'm gonna activate this, pop an emptiness, and then I'm gonna get the trap, set the trap, tribute trap for this guy. And then Draco Succession will let me draw a card. Very key. Very important. Normal summon by using continuous spell or trap. So we'll set this. This effect will activate. Popping this. So this will probably be like something like a White Stone. Or maybe even the Veiler that he searched. Oh, it's another Sage. Alright. Well, I can draw cards here, but he surrendered. So, not really anything I'm worried about, but I'm just going to jump into this next game so that I can make this a clean 3 videos. That was absolutely ridiculous. There was literally no reason for me to win that game other than the fact that I just had an emptiness up. I flipped it, and he didn't have an out. Like, that's... sad times calls for sad measures. But, what I have here is I have a Max C, and I'm going second. Very cool, very neat. I do really like Max C in this deck because it is a hand trap, and like every hand trap kind of falls under this same parameter of where you have it in your hand. Oh look, Metal Foes Yang Zings. Guess who's getting Maxied? Oh my god. So you're setting what combination? Yeah. And so I'm gonna hold this Max C, right? Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Max C on the Jiaotu. Because if you Max C on the Jiaotu, it forces them to give you more cards. Because I mean, I could Max C here, and he'd get one in pass turn, and I'd get one card in pass turn, but at this point, he has to resolve the Jiaotu because he's summoning it, right? And so at this point, he's given away 2 cards into the Jiaotu, and so he's going to summon 2 cards from deck. And I believe I get to draw 2 off of it as well because they get summoned at separate times. I could be wrong, but I believe I get to summon twice, or I get to draw twice. And then he already ditched a path, so that's going to suck for him. Okay, so I just draw once. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's another card that operates like this. Oh, it's Magician's Navigation. That's what it was. As Magician's Navigation lets you draw once for when the Dark Magician hits the board, and then once when the Dark Magician hits the deck, boardroom deck. Because of the way it's structured, it's 2 separate actions. But he searched 9 branches. He's got a counter and another card. And so, yeah, he had to synchro with those cards, or else he was going to, just going to lose. Like, that's just how it operates. And so it gave me an extra card. So because of that, like, it's better than the alternative, even though he does have 9 branches here, and he's going to be able to 9 branches on the Denglong, and summon Bian from deck, and then float into Chiwen. Because of this, he does have 2 negations, so it does put me back down at 5 cards. But at this point, he's cycled out a ton of cards out of his hand. So he doesn't have capability of comboing off on an early potential for the remainder of this game. So that's the key thing. That is the very key important thing here. But so what I'm going to do here is that he's got double Metal Foes counter. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate this first. And I'm going to tribute it to summon my Ignis Heat. Alright? If he doesn't negate it. Because if I do this, then I can just freely pop a card. I can just attempt to pop the 9 branches, and it won't really do anything. That's the thing, is that it'll diffuse the threat, is what I'm looking to do. So I'll pop this. I don't care about counter, because if I popped either of them, the other ones will trigger. I can out his counters through my own methods. And he didn't even chain it, so like there was like no point for him to. So now he actually has 0 negations. That's the important thing here, is that he has 0 negations now, because he could have used 9 branches on Ding Long, and then, like, sure, it doesn't negate anything that hasn't already happened, but he could still just you know, float into Bian Chiwen onto a Herald, which I have to answer. And like that would be actually really strong here, because I have to pop True Kings out of my hand in order to summon them, which means I would be banishing a lot of cards. But as it stands now, nah, man. It's ogre. It's ogre, man. There's nothing else that's gonna happen for you. But so I can pop Mirajane. I can use it to just do these get rid of these cards on board. This is just, this is unfair. But yeah, so we'll activate this, and I will use it to pop. Do I have any monsters engraved? No, just the Max C. So I'll use this to pop the Miramune. And I will add Revival of the True King to my hand. And then Miramune's effect will activate, allowing me to add probably the Water Little Guy, or the Earth Little Guy is probably going to be better. Just because I can do that. I could add the Earth Little Guy, and that would prevent some targeting things, but this would also let me get access to the trap again. But I think this is just better overall. I think Dreas the Third, as his name seems to be, seems just to be a little bit inherently stronger than what we're looking for here. But so what we'll do is we'll do this, and I have already normal summoned, so what I can do is I can activate True Draco Succession here. I can use this to gain an additional normal summon, an additional tribute summon rather, and I'll use it to send my trap to grave. And so this will trigger, and what I will do with it is I will, I could pop either Ding Long or something. The thing is, I've got to deal with floaters. That's the biggest issue, is I've got to deal with multiple floaters, so I'll just get rid of that. I'm not too worried about that. He can establish a scale next turn with the counters, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about that is in a whole, in the whole sense. But I can summon this, popping these, and that would be fine. I could pop this, and that would summon 2 from deck. Yep. So we'll do that. I think Neo Tachyon Dragon is probably my goal here in terms of what I'm trying to do. At least I think. True King Agnemaz, the Vanisher's effect. Yeah. I believe I would like to use that there effect there, sir. But so what we'll use that to add this back to hand, and then its effect will trigger, the Earth Little Guy's effect will trigger, and I'll summon the Water one from deck, which will let me use the field spell to pop it, and I can actually, I've already sent 3, so I can draw 3 cards, so that's just cool, I guess. And there's another Water one, so Neat O was his name-o. So that actually just gets me right where I need to be in terms of the cards I'm trying to access. So we'll use this, and we'll use this to pop the Water Guy from my hand to add the trap, and from here the Water Dude's effect will trigger, and I will be able to summon another guy from deck. So I'll summon something that doesn't really matter. And like I said, what I can do is I can go into this, and let's see, negate the effects of all your opponent can activate cards or effects on the field. So that's actually not what I'm looking to do. But I can go into Pain Gainer, and let's see, it would destroy his board, yes, or I could just start banishing things. This is a problem. I did not think this entirely through until it was too late. But so we'll summon these into this, and I will set multiple cards, and I will end my turn. it's not necessarily too problematic having to do the things that I'm doing because of the fact that I have skill drain and VFD. So it's not an issue really. I'll just call fire, just so that like things can't trigger and things can't do stuff. And then this will have its way with everything. And this ding long can like synchro here, but it's not gonna do anything. So basically, I'm gonna have to exhaust his floaters at some point. I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna deal with his floaters because it was like in my head I was like, yeah man, I could just like do a bunch of different shit, but it turns out no, I can't. So I think what I have to do is I could make Pain Gainer. Yeah, summon an Ignister, but its effect is negated because of VFD, so that's cool. This allows me to activate the Pot of Avarice straight from my deck, so that's cool. I'm just out advantaging him really hard at this point. Like the thing is, I don't have to win the game. At this point, I don't have to win the game per se. I just have to out-resource him, and to the point where it forces him to use his floaters for suboptimal gains, and that is what's going on here. That's the thing. Is that yeah, he's gonna summon this. He's gonna make a Boxia probably, but like from there, it's not gonna do anything. Its effect is going to be negated because it's going to be a fire when it hits the board. It's not going to be able to do anything because of the fact that this is already active before he summons the Boxia. So even if he was going to use something, is there one that makes it unaffected by monster effects? One of the small ones? Can't remember. I think there might be. I remember, let's see, Pulao makes it unaffected by spell effects, Bixie is traps, and Bian is battle, and Swanee is battle, or attack and defense boost. Touty is it can't change control. Yeah, there's like none. There's none that make it unaffected by monster effects. So this Boxia isn't going to be able to do shit. He's got double counter engrave, which he can use to add back like the Stealin. And or he can actually add back Volflame and Stealin, just so that he could use Volflame to get popped by the Silvered and stuff like that. But yeah, like he just realized that he literally just gave up his floater string, and all I have to do is next turn is just kill him. Like it's so simple. All I had to do was literally just not die, which is very easy for me to do, and I can out-resource his entire deck, even though his deck is mainly comprised of floaters. And that's just another one of the problems I have with the Yang Zing deck, is that when people make you play on their pace and not your own, then you start seeing some problems with the deck. But anyway, I'm going to call it here. I think that was a pretty decent 3 games, even though it was against randoms, and I think it pretty much exemplified the point that I was trying to make of I'm not a huge fan of this pure True King variant. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below and all that sorts of nonsense. But anyway, as always guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, as I already said. And if you like this video, definitely be sure to like, and if you're new here, maybe consider subscribing. Helps me out a ton. It helps the channel and community within it grow, so that's a cool thing. If you want to see more content from me, that's the best way to support, is by liking the videos and subscribing if you haven't already. But other than that, check out the links on screen, and maybe go check out my channel itself to find more videos you might also like. There's 1,000+ uploads over there, so if you can't find another video you also like, I'd be incredibly surprised. But as I've already said, thank you for watching. Thanks for your time as usual, and as always guys, take care. I'll see you in the next video.